In this film, we'll see the transformation of a very small young Japanese black pines go into pond baskets so that they can be fattened up to make something like these, like this little mamey here. Good morning, everybody. Well, afternoon now. It's a little after noon. Today, we're going to repot these two very young Japanese black pines into an aquatic basket. It's kind of large for it, but the idea is to grow these plants so they're much larger. We will be letting sacrificial branches go, and I've already added almost a gallon of soil to that pot over there, and it's probably going to need more. But let me set up here and then we'll begin. Starting with tree number 1 here. I've labeled it so I don't forget. This tree actually blew off my stand. Lost a little bit of soil here just recently, and it's been out in the rain, but it's dried out pretty quick because it has such a small container. But we're just planning to rake out the roots and saving this soil to go around it, to make sure that we get all the mycorrhizum that we can possibly get into the potting. I don't plan to cut any of the roots, and you can see it's got some really nice roots there at the bottom, and when you see white roots, that indicates that it is growing. But we are going to rake away all the soil here and just see how the roots are going. This pine was wired approximately 1 month ago to get these crazy bends in it, because the thing about a black pine, if you don't bend them early, you'll never get any bend in that very low part of the trunk. I had a field-grown pine for a while, 28 years, and it was like 10 years old when I got it. It's probably close to 50 years old now. If you've been to Benegrestis place up in Orlando, you might have seen it. It's been up there since 2020. I just couldn't handle it anymore. It got too big. So I'm planning to grow this one as a bunjin or a literati. The other one I want to do as a mamey, but the thing is that you hate to stifle any plant. At least I do. I'm going to stop the film for the moment, and when I get these roots finally raked out, I'll come back. Well, it took me about 5 minutes, I believe, but I got the roots raked out really a long way, and you might want to see a close-up of this pine. Now, I'm not going to cut any of the roots on this one, but the other one, I'm thinking I might cut some of the roots. What I'm doing with this one is I'm going to take these long roots and sort of wrap them around the root ball. Not around this root ball, but around in this pot. So I got a mound in here, and I'm going to kind of press this down. And this particular tree, since it's going to be my literati, I want to plant at an angle, and I plan to wire it in place. So I'm going to place these roots around the outer perimeter. And the main reason I'm doing this is I'm trying to give this plant all the helping the world to actually grow huge. Now the soil that I took off of it, I'm going to put right around the roots here because they should contain that mycorrhizin. And I want to give it all the chance I can. I really felt like I was abusing that poor thing when I was raking out the roots. But now I'm going to actually sort of strap this thing in. It's so, you can't tie down the roots in a normal way with this type of planting container. So we're coming in from all sides with these sort of like a seatbelt effect, and getting it to grasp the tree and hold it in place, trying not to disturb any of these buds. Well, let me add some more soil to that. Yeah, this soil is from Bonsai Jack. It's in a gallon bag, but looks like I'm going to need more than this, so I'm going to cut the scene again. Well, there's the finished product. I'm going to zoom in here to take a better look at it. I ended up using almost a gallon and a half of the wires on there, kind of loose too. And I use copper wire for it. This is going to be the future front of the tree. So with that, we end. There's the first pine all watered in. I put some nutrients that contains mycorrhizin and safe for transplants on top of it. I'm not even sure of the brand. The aquatic plant basket actually came from Lowe's. I believe they were like $3, around that amount. Now here is the next pine that I'm going to do, and the basket's being prepared, and I've actually put some of that nutrient on top of the mound this time. I'm going to try a little bit different. And what I plan to do with the next part of this film is I'm going to do the whole thing, and I'll just speed through it at the end. Well, after seeing all that, we surely don't want to go this size, do we? Or this size. Wow. This large pine of mine was field grown, and this is its first wiring in 1996. Here's what it looks like today with this young lady beside of it. But no, with what I'm doing, I'm hoping to get something like this in 5 to 10 years. And it could probably be achieved, even something like this, the Bonsai or the literati style. And now we're going to view quite a few of these as we see all the different shapes and sizes that you can do. This is probably a ponderosa pine here with its long needles. And this one's probably a ponderosa pine too, in this modern age container out in the Pacific. This could actually be a larch, but it's still the literati style. Almost looks like a Japanese black pine. This is definitely a Japanese black pine, another literati. Got literati, Bunchian, freestyle type of tree. Most of them are in round pots, you notice. Some in an oval. This one's a little bit more full, but still it's a literati. This is kind of my favorite one of the group. That's why there's a secondary picture in here of it. This one's really wild. But you might want to go for the exposed root style. So you got to really think early when you're dealing with that. This is my experience. I started my big one like this, and eventually it really looked gorgeous. Built that stand so I could move it in and out of the weather. I really liked it. Maybe I liked it a little too much. It became too much. Got too heavy for me. So you got a choice. You want to try to achieve something quickly, or to start something that your grandkids will be working on in the years to come. They really are gorgeous, aren't they? Yes, the Japanese black pine. Some people even decorate them for Christmas. A lot of different styles. It's your choice as to what you do. But film's got to come to an end.